welcome back, and we are welcoming our friends from Coastal Medical Alert, Heidi Maddox, and she has brought her partner today from 24-hour home care. I'm sorry, Blake. This is Blake Nodden from 24-hour home care. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
It's good to have you both here.
Thanks.
Heidi, you're always here to tell us about these wonderful things that we can use in our lives and in the lives of folks that we care about to keep us safe.
Yes.
Tell us about some new things that are happening with Coastal Medical Alert.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, we provide medical alerts for in the home and on the go. Everything is 100% waterproof.
Yes.
So you can wear it in the shower or when you go swimming. And I'm wearing one today that's for just on the for the home. When you press it, a little red light goes on. It does come in a necklace form, or it also comes in a wristband form, or a clip that you can wear it on your pants or on your shirt. And then we do have the ones that are on the go. So if you're out walking your dog, if you're golfing, if you want to go visit your friends in Miami.
Oh, really?
Or anywhere. You just take the medical alert pendant with you and you just press the button when you need help, and the medical operator will speak through the pendants and we'll be able to locate you and get the help that you need.
That is incredible. These are so wonderful. All of these devices and things that you have for keeping people safe, it's really beautiful to learn about those. And then you've brought Blake Nodden in today. Tell us about Blake. He is a partner to your company.
So Coastal Medical Alert has partnered up with the 24-hour home care to help avoid readmissions to the hospitals, which are extremely important because, as we know, that if someone's discharged from a hospital, the new rule is if they get readmitted within a 30-day period, that the hospital won't be covered under that expense.
Oh.
So, and Billy can tell you a little bit more about that, but we have a plan of care in place that we work with 24-hour home care when somebody is admitted to a hospital or a rehab. So.
Well, Blake, do tell us about that plan.
Yeah, sure. So we, a little bit of background about us, we provide professional caregiving services. And so oftentimes when somebody's going home from a hospital or skilled nursing facility, they might need some extra help at home. So that's where a service like ours would come into play. We can help out with personal care assistance, domestic duties like meal preparation, light housekeeping, laundry.
Wonderful.
We can help out with transportation. We can help keep track of the medications, and then also companionship, supervision, and things along those lines. So to use a service like ours, it is a private pay expense, and it's great to partner with an organization like Heidi's because it can be costly to pay for around-the-clock caregiving, which a lot of people might need. So as they transition home, a lot of families might start off with a little bit more care up front and then step down that schedule as they're improving, but keep the medical alert device as a peace of mind knowing that their loved one has some caregiving and
some
the peace of mind as well through Heidi's program.
Yes. So tell me, you have kind of an offer happening right now through 24-hour home care. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so any of our clients that utilize even just one visit of caregiving through 24-hour home care can use up to 60 days of Heidi's system free of charge.
Oh, that's wonderful.
If they, there's no obligation to continue, but they get that service for 60 days free of charge.
So that kind of eyes on the prize, that monitoring, that care, that supervision is in place for 60 days. That would give a lot of relief and to family members and also to a person who needs the care.
And for peace of mind. And the hospitals really love the program, the plan of care that we put in place, because again, they do not want anyone being readmitted within that 30-day period.
Oh,
because it's very costly to them. So the discharge planners and the case managers at the hospitals work really closely with 24-hour home care to kind of put that plan of care in place.
Well, tell me again about if a person is readmitted, there are some new laws in place, and tell me again about how that is playing out.
Blake, you want to explain?
Sure. So basically, the hospitals are penalized for these folks coming back within a 30-day period. It used to be a fee-for-service model where if somebody came into the hospital could bill for any of the services provided. But Medicare has said that, hey, we really want to see quality outcomes. We want these folks to go home from the hospital and stay home safely instead of just bouncing back. And so they're placing penalties on the hospital systems for when these people return within a certain amount of time.
Wow. Well, and no one wants to be readmitted. We want to avoid that at all costs. And so this is a wonderful plan to have in place with both of you partnering together to keep people safe and to give the supervision that's needed.
Absolutely.
And what happens is how it would work is they would go home with, being discharged, they would go home with 24-hour home care. We would come over at no cost to set up the medical alerts for the individual, and there's no cost or obligation for them. And we'll check in on with them after like 30 days to see how it's going. They're not, see if they want to keep it. If they're not sure, we'll check in 45 days. And then within the 60-day period, if they don't want to keep it, there's no cost or anything. We just come by and pick it up. If they do want to keep the medical alert, it just stays where it's at, and they can continue to use it.
And a 60-day period,
Yes.
that's a generous amount of time as well.
Well, we want people to know that we want to make sure that they're taken care of and that their families and themselves have the peace of mind that in case something happens, they won't be stranded at all. So it's definitely a great plan of care that we've put in place.
Because if someone is admitted to the hospital and then they do come home, there's a lot of unsettled feeling.
Right.
It does take at least 10 days, maybe more, just to realize, okay, we did the hospital, now we're home. Now this is the new normal.
Right. I also want to talk about as well, for some of our subscribers for the Coastal Medical Alert, when, for example, when they use the service and they are admitted to the hospital, this has happened to a few of our subscribers, and it got me very frustrated, and then I found out from 24-hour home care they have something in place for this. So they'll be, maybe they won't be admitted, but they'll get transported to ER.
Yes.
They're in the emergency room, and then they're not going to be admitted. They're discharged. Sometimes that happens at 11, 12 at night, and they don't have a way of getting home. So I had one subscriber ended up taking an ambulance back home, which cost her a lot of money, which is not needed. So 24-hour home care has something in place regarding transporting people home from the hospital. So I can have Blake explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, so last year we actually partnered with Uber, and since then we've partnered with Lyft and some of the other ride-sharing platforms.
Yes.
And what we do is essentially book rides for folks that don't have a smartphone, or maybe they don't know how to navigate the Uber or Lyft apps. So our program is called Ride with 24. It's available to the general public. It doesn't have to be a client that's on caregiving services with us to be able to utilize it.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome.
It's so important. I mean, it doesn't, again, you don't have to have services with Coastal Medical or 24-hour home care, but the hospitals know. So you do Saddleback, you're partnered with Saddleback Hospital, and then which other ones in the areas?
Yeah, and then, I mean, a lot of folks use it as a private pay resource too, so a lot of the skilled nursing facilities or even like assisted living communities, some of the senior centers will also recommend the service to folks that are having challenges with transportation.
That is a wonderful service. Well, it's great that 24-hour home care and Coastal Medical Alert, that you're partnered together, because this really does give people a lot of confidence in the kind of care that they can expect to have. And I'm so glad that you both came today, especially you, Blake, because just 2 weeks ago, what happened with you?
I got married.
You got married!
Yeah.
You should be on your honeymoon.
I know, she's a school teacher, so we will be going over Thanksgiving break.
Well, that's very thoughtful for her classes and her students.
Yes.
And we did just speak to a man in our last segment who was, well, 58 years ago, he met his wife.
Aww.
So I asked him, what's the secret of that 58-year marriage? And he said, 2 words. Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Learn those 2 words.
I remember
You're looking
that,
at
Blake.
58 years from now, Blake.
Good advice.
Well, Heidi, Blake, thank you so much for coming to see us today.
Thanks for having us.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And stay with us. Right after this, we are going to hear from Medicare Options.